Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from deep within the minds of the dog in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. Nothing like kicking off a day of Minecrafting with a little bit of bling blangs in the belly. Am I right, my friends? Look at this. A giant patch of diamonds in the mines of the dog. I've been down here now for the last hour or so doing a little bit of resource gathering. I've been trying to get myself a bunch of iron. Last episode, we started a brand new project in the Moleshire. We started working on a brand new blacksmith facility, and my plan is to try and turn it into a really awesome auto smelting facility of awesomeness in our world so that we can very quickly and automagically smelt items in the survival series. And well, I popped into a bunch of diamonds, so this is a great way to start my day. Hey, how many of you out there are doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing right freaking now in Minecraft? How many of you out there are mining resources right now? I hope many of you, because in this game of Minecraft, we need a ridiculous amount of resources, don't we? Now, as I say, I've been mining down here for the last hour or so, managed to get myself quite a few items. More importantly, managed to get myself a bunch of iron. I think I'm on to about 4 stacks of iron now, and quite a lot of diamonds too, which is awesome. And we're going to need all of this iron because we're going to need a ridiculous amount of hoppers. Last episode, we set up a very small and rudimentary design for an auto smelting system in our blacksmith. It's only got 5 furnaces in it at the moment, and unfortunately what's holding us back is a lack of iron. So I got up nice and early this morning, made myself a nice pot of coffee, and I have been mining for a good hour or so. And take a look at this, guys. 22 diamond ores, which is absolutely insane. We'll definitely take some of that along with us. I've also got myself a bunch of building blocks here, a bunch of building resources. In fact, I think this is now full up. Yeah, let's send that into the delivery mechanism so we can start getting those items into the storage hole. But most importantly, I want to get myself some of this iron in the belly. Let's take this with us. Probably take the gold, or you know what? Let's take all the coal also, because we're going to need that coal for our new blacksmith, right? Let's take the diamonds. You know what? Let's just take everything. We can deposit it into the storage hole when we get back up there. But yeah, guys, today is going to be sweet, man. We're going to be getting a little bit technical in this episode. I want to work on this furnace facility that we started in the last episode. I want to make it kind of fancy, okay? Want to get some redstone in it. I want to get it smelting away as efficiently as possible, and if I can manage it, I'd like to squeeze a good 16 furnaces into our blacksmith. There is a skeleton over there, and yeah, he is not going to allow us to sleep right now. Skeleton, you got a bow, I've got a better one. Let's jingle jangle together, shall we? Takes 2 to tango. You stupid skeleton butt brain. Anyway, let's try and sleep the night away finally. Pick up the remains of the skeleton over there. But yeah, we started working on this facility the previous episode, and I want to make this thing kind of fancy today, man. I want to work with you guys on setting up a pretty decent auto smelting system. We don't want to go absolutely crazy because we don't actually have a lot of space in the blacksmith area over here. And what I want to try and do is squeeze 16 furnaces into this place somehow. And that means we're going to need a total of 16 times 3 hoppers, right? Which comes to, oh geez, doing maths on camera, 32, 48. We need 48 hoppers in order to create this entire furnace system, or at least a 16 furnace system in the blacksmith. So that should hopefully be enough iron. I've actually connected quite a lot of iron over here, so why don't we give our little system a run and start smelting some of that iron, right? There we go. I guess we're going to have to bump this thing back and forth until it finishes all of the iron, or at least deposits all of that iron into the furnaces. But yeah, 48 hoppers are required, and we're going to get busy trying to squeeze 16 furnaces into this blacksmith. Should be a fun day of redstoning, my friends. Get a tasty beverage, get a freaking crunchy snack, because it's time to get technical up in this business. As per usual, my friends, this redstone project we're currently working on is turning out to be a lot more complicated than I originally anticipated. I was in the bath this morning and I kind of built this auto furnace in my brain, but now that we're laying down the blocks, it's getting a little bit more tricky than I thought it was going to be. However, I think if we go through this step by step, we will be able to get this thing functioning the way that we want it to, right? Starting off with all of the furnaces. We've got about 12 furnaces laid down over here, and that means we are missing 4 furnaces in the furnace array. I want to do 16 furnaces in this auto smelter, and this means we're going to have to, well, turn a corner, I suppose, with the auto smelting furnace system, with the hoppers and the furnace, and that means we have to dig a little bit back into the side of the mountain over here. And what I would like to do here is try and make these furnaces go around the corner. I want to see some of the furnaces in the blacksmith, of course, because that's going to look really cool. I want to see those furnaces smelting when the facility's up and running. But we can hide a few of these furnaces in the back here, right? So let's try and get the last remaining furnaces installed. This is actually not connected properly. So we've got to make sure that all of the furnaces are going to be delivering their smelted items into the chest. So let's continue that hopper chain from this side, right? And we'll install our last final furnaces at the back of the cave over here. So let's get our last furnaces plonked in over here. And of course, we need to make sure that these furnaces are going to get access to the railway lines too, that are going to be delivering the different materials into them, right? So we're going to need hoppers on top of these furnaces like so, and hoppers behind the furnaces also, right? These hoppers, of course, are delivering the coal into the furnaces, and these hoppers on top are delivering the items into the furnaces. And it looks like I already might have messed up over here. No, we're good, we're good. This needs to go around the corner over here, right? So let's just get the railway lines laid down for the coal delivery system. Now we need to do the item delivery system. So let's get that running over there. Because remember, the hoppers on top of the furnaces are delivering the items into the furnaces. The hoppers at the back of the furnaces are delivering the coal into the furnaces. And the hoppers underneath the furnaces are collecting all of the items that are being smelted by the furnace. A very quick recap of what we put together last time. Now, we need to make sure, of course, that the hopper minecart goes back once it reaches the end of the line over here. So we're going to have to install a couple of redstone blocks. What we'll do is we'll stick a redstone block over here, because if we stick a redstone block next to the hopper, that redstone block will actually depower that hopper, right? So we go one back over here, and this will be the spot that will send the hopper minecart back. And let's just make it nice and neat, right? We want everything to look at least a little bit decent, even if we're never going to see this part of the world. I think it's important that it looks good, right? We're going to have to do the same over here, and we'll have another redstone block over here, right? Yes, that's going to be the right spot. And then back here will be the block where the hopper minecart bounces off of. Let's get ourselves some powered rails down here too, right? And actually, that's not going to work either. We're going to have to stagger this a little bit, right? So we're going to have to push this one back one block like this. And this is what I was talking about, guys, how everything gets a little bit more complicated when you actually start working on the build. It makes so much sense when you're in the bath. But as soon as you start placing down the blocks, oh my goodness, man, things get a little bit more tricky. Anyway, let's get these railway lines installed over here. This is cute, but also very, very wrong. There we go. That top railway line is now installed. And this one is now installed too. Okay, so now when those mine carts, those chest carts come here, they're going to bounce off the back, and they should fill up these last remaining furnaces in the back here, in the back of this cave. Also, the sun has just gone down, I've realized. So let's know it hasn't gone down. All right, panic averted. No reason to panic, ReNDoG it down. Okay, so that should be 16 furnaces installed into our auto smelting facility. Looking very good. Now what we need to do is work on the loading mechanisms for the furnaces and for the fuel, right? And I've tried something a little bit interesting over here, right? So what I've done is I've got a couple of positions over here that I'd like to load our mine carts with chests. I'm just going to call them chest carts from now on, okay, guys? That makes it a little bit easier for my brain. They're actually called mine carts with chest, and that's just too many words for the ReNDoG brain to understand. Now, check it out. This is how I want to load these mine carts, right? I want to plonk them down in these positions over here, and what I'd like to do is have a button in this position that we can hit the button, and that's going to send the minecart on its way. That's going to send it into the system, right? So nice and simple. However, I do want to add a little bit of signage here too, right? Just so that we know what we're working with. So let's add a couple of blocks over here, and I think I got some item frames. Yeah, we got some item frames. Okay, so let's add some item frames above here. This one is going to be the line that is going to be delivering the items into the back of the furnaces. Okay, so this line over here is going to be for coal or for fuel. So let's just steal a little bit of fuel from one of these furnaces. I think I got some fuel over here. Yeah, all right. So this is going to be the fuel line, and this is going to be the smelt line, right? Let's add an iron ingot over there to represent the smeltage. So we want to stick iron ingots in there, or anything that we want to smelt, we'll stick in this minecart, which we should have access to here. And this one is going to be coal. All right, beautiful. Now I guess what we can do is sort of cover this up a little bit at the back, just to make it look a little bit neat when we're looking at it from here. I'm not sure if this is the design we'll go for, but for now, let's keep it this way, and I guess what we got to do is connect up these different sections to it, right? And I suppose we want to get a redstone block into each of these. Where is my axe? There it is. We want to get a redstone block over here, right? So that minecart is going to go nice and quickly when we send it on its way. We don't want this system to be too slow. We are at the beginning of the series, of course, right, guys? So we could make a really complicated loading system over here, but you know what? I think this is going to do pretty good. I suppose what we could do is we could make it a little bit more complicated by adding some sort of a loading mechanism into the chest carts themselves, right? So why don't we add a hopper above the chest carts if we can. Hang on, that's not quite working the way. I think we're gonna have to get rid of this. Let's add a hopper above here like this, right? This is gonna be loading these chest carts with items if we stick a chest above them. So let's add a couple of chests above here, like so. Nice. And this is where we can put the item frames. Okay, so let's stick the item frames on the chests, and if we want to load a bunch of items into the furnace, we can just load them into the chests over here, right? So we can drop a whole bunch of items in here to be smelted, and we can drop a whole bunch of coal here to be smelted, and eventually that's going to get loaded into the chest carts, right? Let's get those chest carts remade again. Oh my goodness, guys, the complications, I tell you, the brain is getting cooked like nobody's business right now. All right, so let's get the hopper minecarts, or the hopper minecarts, the chest carts installed, like so. And yeah, that is not quite, is that going to work? I'm not entirely sure. It looks like it's working. No, it's not working. Okay, that's very curious. So I think we're probably going to have to raise these hoppers up by a block. After about 10 minutes of fiddling, guys, and basically using up the remainder of all of that iron I mined out this morning, I think I'm going to figure out a pretty cool way to load these hopper minecarts. That system I was making with a chest, that wasn't working very nicely, and I've been experimenting with a new way to load these chest carts over here. Take a look at this. If we install a hopper facing that railway line like that, we should be able to load this chest with items. Yes, we do. Okay, that's really cool. So what we can do is we can install a hopper on the sides of each of these things, and then what we can do, I guess, is install a hopper on top of those ones, and that should allow us to load these minecarts quite easily by adding a couple of chests on top of these hoppers over here, right? So, for example, let's add a chest over here and a chest over here. So the one's going to be for fuel, the other one's going to be for what we need to smelt, and on those chests we can stick our item frames, finally, and there we can stick the coal on this one, or the fuel on that one anyway, and what we want to smelt on that one. Now what we can do is sort of hide this a little bit, right? Try and make it a little bit neater, and actually we could probably make this even neater now that I think about it. I still want to get access to the chest carts themselves, right? Which is why I'm doing it this way. So that's going to give us access to the chest cart here, or we can access the chest that we want to deliver the items in there. And maybe what we can do is get a little bit clever over here, right? Maybe what we can do is stick the chest cart over here, or anyway, move the chest over here, right? Oh yes, this is actually going to work pretty nicely. We're going to need a trap chest on this side though, so we can stick it next to this. So let's make for ourselves a tripwire real quick. I think we're going to need a stick for that, if I can remember correctly. There we go, and there's a tripwire, nice. And now we can make ourselves a trapped chest. We probably want to make a couple of those. So let's make a couple of trap chests, and this way we'll be able to put these two chests next to each other. I know it looks like absolute madness, my friends, but don't you worry, it's all going to make sense in a second. There we go. Now what we can do is install our item frame, which I think got sucked up by the hopper. Yeah, there it is. Let's install our item frame over here with the coal in there. So that's fuel. That's what we are smelting. And this way, wait, this one needs to change actually. Let's move the item frame on this side. That's what we're going to be smelting, and this way we can sort of hide the shame of the other chests a little bit like this, right? And maybe we can even add another layer on top of it like so. And this way, we kind of don't see the chest behind it really, but we still have access to the different chests. And I suppose what we're going to need to do is add a few staircases above these chests, just so that it looks nice. And of course, we can still open chests if there are staircases above them. If we put solid blocks above the chest, we wouldn't be able to open them, right? So how does that look? Yeah, that's looking a little bit neater, I suppose. Cyberdogs, I'm 100% sure that I'm completely overthinking this loading mechanism. I want it to work really well, but at the same time, I want it to look good too, right? And one of the problems I'm having is that we can't have a hopper above the chest cart. I want to be able to access these chest carts just in case I want to do some quick smelting, right? So I want to be able to access this chest cart and stick a whole bunch of stuff I want to smelt in here, and then press the button and send it on its way. But at the same time, I want to be able to slow load it also, right? I want to come into the blacksmith, drop a whole bunch of items that I want smelted in here, and go away and do something else. But that means we got to have this chest over here, and I also want to have the item frame above the chest cart itself, right? And I don't know, that's kind of made it a little bit complicated for us, but I think this is okay. What I've done back here is I've filled up all of this area with stone bricks so that when we're looking through those windows, it doesn't look so janky, right? So this is all filled up. We've got some stairs above the chests also so that we can open up those chests. Of course, we can't open chests if there's solid blocks above them, and I guess we can finish off the loading mechanism a little bit like that. And even though it doesn't look the greatest, I don't really like being able to see this hopper over here. I suppose it's okay for now, guys. I guess it's something that we're going to have to live with, right? Maybe I can figure out a better design for this in the future, but I suppose for the stage of the project that we're at now, this is going to have to do, right? So we can manually load our chest carts with coal, for example, or we can slow load them by dropping some coal in here, and that should load the cart, but it's not loading the cart for some reason, and that's probably because this hopper is not installed correctly. Is that right? No, there it is. It is actually loading the cart. All right, there we go. Well, it's loading this one anyway. Is it loading the cart? I'm very confused right now. Like, where is all that coal going? Oh, it has loaded the cart. Never mind. The ReNDoG brain is clearly not functioning very well. I need a bit more coffee, man. Give me 1 second. Alright, there we go. So, loading mechanisms are done. Beautiful. That's looking really good. We've only got one more thing that we need to install here, and I do need a few more railway lines, actually. Do I have any more rails here? No, I don't, and man, we are running out of iron reserves. Pretty much just been through every bit of iron now that I collected this morning. We're going to have to go mining again at some point. But yeah, we've got one more thing to install here for our auto smelting system, guys, and that is, of course, finding a way to make sure that these chest carts don't return back to the loading bay until they've completely emptied themselves over here, right? That is going to be our next task, and we're going to be using sticky pistons for this, and we got slime in the previous episode so that we can make some sticky pistons. And I suppose what we do need to do, though, is install a couple more powered rails over here so that these chest carts will get themselves all the way up to the top, right? So let's get a couple more powered rails here, and that should send the chest carts all the way to the end. Hopefully that's going to be enough momentum to get them all the way around the corner there. It's unclear whether that is going to be the case or not. I suppose we could install another one here, but we'll test that out a little bit later. Let's try figure out a way to stop these mine carts in their tracks if they are still full, right? We want to be able to send these mine carts back into the system if they have not completely unloaded themselves. And we're going to do that in a pretty clever way. I don't know. This is going to be pretty cool. I figured this out in the bath this morning. Let's see if I can actually make this work. Now, what we know about this hopper over here is that it is going to be delivering items into this furnace, right? And that means we are able to get a redstone signal from that hopper whenever an item is passed from the hopper into the furnace. And we can capture that redstone signal with the comparator, and we can then extend that redstone signal with a repeater. And let's do a little bit of an experiment over here, right? Let's load some items into this hopper. Let's add some stone. And as you can see, while the stone is passing through the hopper, this redstone signal has been turned on, right? Let's get ourselves a few more items here so that we can see that working at a constant flow. So if we're loading a bunch of stone to be smelted into whatever, stone can't be smelted into anything, but that's fine. We can see that that redstone signal is always on, right, while this hopper is loading. So we can do something quite clever here. We can use this redstone signal to add a blocking system for the minecart. And what we're going to do is use a sticky piston for this, right? So let's get that sticky piston that we've just created and stick it in here. And what I want to do is stick a block right here next to this particular upward rail system, right? This is the rail system going up to the top of the hoppers. And what we probably want to do here actually is add another redstone block and activate a rail here. So that when the hopper minecart gets stopped in this position, it'll have enough momentum to continue. So the thinking is that while this hopper is unloading itself, we're going to get a redstone signal into this sticky piston, right? And I think we're going to have to do it like this, right? Go around the corner like so. Right, that was definitely overthinking it, my friends. That's what happens when you work with redstone. Let's try something a little bit different here. Let's add a repeater into the back of the sticky piston, and that should get that redstone signal now solid while items are passing through the hopper. At the moment, of course, the items aren't passing through the hopper because we filled up that furnace down there with items, and yeah, we're gonna have to get those items out of there, right? So let's get the items out of there again and just reinstall this system that we've just broken. Nice, Ren, good job. But there we go. So the thinking is, while items are traveling through this hopper, this sticky piston is going to be extended, right? Now, when we load our chest cart with items to be smelted, so let's load a couple of items that can actually be smelted over here. Let's make ourselves a few stone bricks that we can smelt into cracked stone bricks, right? And say, for example, we want to load up this hopper minecart, or sorry, this chest cart with stone bricks to be smelted and send it on its way. We will see that it's going to come up here and it's going to trigger that sticky piston. Now, when it comes back again, we should see exactly the same thing happening. And unfortunately, that didn't quite work the way that I wanted it to because, well, the sticky piston kicked the chest cart over across to the next lane. So, looks like I'm going to have to adjust this very slightly. Let's just sleep the night away first. My friends, I got a confession to make. I'm a freaking genius. I've managed to figure it out. Well, I haven't really figured it out, and I can't really explain how it works, but that's pretty much how I do redstone in Minecraft, guys. I experiment with a whole bunch of different designs, and somehow, every now and then, I find one that works. So, take a look at what I've done over here. I've added another comparator line into the hopper that's next to this one, and for some reason, this actually works out the way that I wanted to. I guess what was happening is that the items were passing through this hopper too quickly, and that means that the sticky piston wasn't getting enough juice to stay extended. Now that we've got two hoppers sending a redstone signal in, that redstone signal is strong enough to last long enough to keep the sticky piston extended. You guys picking up what I'm putting down over here? I'm not sure if that made any sense whatsoever, but here we go. Let's say we want to smelt down 64 stone bricks, guys. We're going to hit the button. The chest cart's going to go on its way. It's going to start filling up all of those furnaces with items, and as it comes back again, boom, it triggers both of these comparators. It gets sent all the way back down the line, and it should be empty now, right? So it's going to go all the way back down into its loading position for more items that we want to load into it. So we have somehow, through the luck of, well, just trying different stuff in redstone, managed to solve a problem. In fact, numerous problems today, guys. Absolutely amazing. We're going to need to install exactly the same system for the coal over here too, right? I'm going to have to stick it down here, I suppose. Yeah, I'm going to have to put it in this position over here. And once that's installed, our auto furnace facility, or as it will be known, the Moletown blacksmith, will be functioning, and we can start smelting down a whole bunch of stuff. This is a great day. This is the moment that I look most forward to when I'm working with redstone, guys. The final test of a system that has taken the entire day to work out and install. we get to test this sucker out to see if it's functioning the way that we want it to. And this is what I really love about redstone. And the more that I work with redstone, guys, the more that I enjoy it. So hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more redstone in this series. I know redstone isn't exactly everybody's cup of tea, but I hope you guys have been enjoying the technical builds that we've been doing here. And most of the builds we've been doing has been pretty simple. So I hope some of you guys have been able to learn something and maybe replicate some of these things in your own worlds. So without any further ado, my friends, shall we put our brand new blacksmith facility to the test? I think we should. This is going to be sweet. Let's start with a little bit of coal action over here, right? Let's put, I don't know, 2 stacks of coal into the system. We're going to load the chest card, hit the button, and that should go on its merry way, starting to refuel all of our furnaces over here. Looking good. Let's have a look. Let's make sure this stopper is actually working correctly. Comes back to that position, and boom, gets bounced back again to refill all of the furnaces with coal. Absolutely awesome. Now, let's cook something in this blacksmith, shall we? I've got a bunch of potatoes that we've been gathering from the fields of the dog throughout this entire series. I haven't smelted them down yet, or I haven't cooked them yet, so this looks like a perfect opportunity to get some potatoes cooking up in here, man. Let's get this Moleshire smelling like roast potatoes, baby. Let's send the mine chest on its way, and there we see all of the furnaces firing up as those potatoes are added, and that chest card should be sent back on its way. Yes, there we go, loading up all of those potatoes into the furnaces, and that should happen a couple times because there's quite a few potatoes to be smelted. And my friends, this is the feeling that I'm talking about, baby, when you set up a redstone machine and it actually works the way that you want it, even though it might be janky, even though there's probably better ways to do it. There is no better feeling in my mind when doing redstone than witnessing what we are witnessing right now. It's a janky auto smelting facility. It works. I'm super proud. Hope you guys like it, and hopefully some of you guys have learned something today about some redstone. That's going to do it for today, though, my friends. While these potatoes are cooking away, man, it's making me kind of hungry. I need to go get myself some dinner. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. ReNDoG signing out from the Moleshire Blacksmith. Next episode, we're going to make this place look awesome. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that notification bell so you get the notification when the new video comes out live. And of course, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the redstone shenanigans in today's episode. ReNDoG signing out, guys. We'll smell you all in the next episode.